Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sauna IE. I'm your host, XO. And on today's episode, well, if this is your first time listening, welcome to Sauna IE. Sauna IE is a podcast really focused on mental health as well as financial literacy. And I believe we use our mental health as well as financial literacy on a daily basis. So why not have a podcast discussing ways to advance and elevate our mental health as well as financial literacy? I know yesterday was World Mental Health Day. Shout out to everybody that's really been taking care of themselves and taking care of their mental health. But as far as this episode today, I have a special guest, a foodie. Yes, a foodie, hailing from Las Vegas. And I'm getting more into detail about him. But first, let's start with the quote of the day. Worrying is a misuse of your imagination. We tend to always worry about what could go wrong, what if, and all this stuff. But it's like, why not use our imagination or use that worrying time to think of the possibilities that will happen, that can happen, instead of worrying about what will go wrong. Because once you start thinking like, oh, this can go right, or using your imagination to create possibilities, then that worrying goes away. We all worry. We all worry about things, but why not switch up to start believing and start feeling within ourselves that I can imagine my future. I can create my future within my mind and start visualizing what I can have go right instead of worrying what can go wrong. Because once you start worrying what goes wrong, everything will start going wrong. All the negative influence, all the negative energy will start coming to you. And you start attracting all the worrisome times. So use your imagination to create possibilities, to believe that anything is possible and anything can happen. But once again, that quote is, worrying is a misuse of your imagination. And my next quote is, spend your life making the kind of memories you can be proud of. Spend your life making the kind of memories you can be proud of. And that goes to every day. Every day, make a new memory within, whether it's with your family, your friends, at your job, or just doing something that you know you'll remember 5 years down the line that you're like, damn, I'm glad I did that. I can reflect back, and that was one of the greatest memories of my time or my life. I'm glad I dedicated that time to create that memory. So let's spend our lives creating memories. I mean, we all working. It's like life isn't about constantly working. You have to spend the time with your family, spend the time with your friends, spend the time with yourself, creating those memories. Create those self memories to where you're taking yourself out, maybe out to eat, out to get a massage, just having a self-care day. I know myself personally, yesterday I had a self-care Sunday, which I'm going to start incorporating more on, and really taking care of myself and really doing things for myself and treating myself out to certain events or certain things to do. So spend your life making the kind of memories you can be proud of. But now, let's get to our guest. Our guest is a popular foodie in Sin City. Tzeng, aka LasVegasFill, goes out multiple nights a week and covers every cuisine imaginable on various social media platforms. If you haven't heard of LasVegasFill, he's on so of course social media, but as well as Instagram and TikTok. Those are his big social media platforms that he's really been reaching out and really leaving reviews of the food places that he visited in Sin City. Initially, building his following came from Yelp with funny and profanity-laced reviews. He transitioned to Instagram in 2017 and hasn't looked back, gaining over 140,000 followers and counting. Originally hailing from Boston, Massachusetts, Phil's love for all things food started early, being raised by Taiwanese parents. His mom's extraordinary cooking, and he spent 10 years in NYC, broadening his taste bud horizons with a spectrum of culinary experiences, which he took to another level by moving to Japan and traveling around Asia for 2 years. It wasn't until his first job in Vegas, which was a swing shift gig, that he started covering late night dinner spots and subsequently started getting that writing bug. He currently runs a social media marketing and consulting company called LasVegasFill, boasting a roster of well-known eateries in the city, and he works as a photographer using his iPhone to create the most prolific videos that I've seen. Excuse me. But without further ado, help me introduce my guest, Philip Tzeng, aka Las Vegas Phil. How are you doing today?
Good, XO. Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate you coming on. Happy belated birthday. Wish
Thanks.
I was out there in Vegas to celebrate.
Yeah. I mean, Vegas has been awesome. Things have really, had a really low key, chill birthday, but was really great.
It was really great. What all did you do?
So I did a float pod, which is a sensory deprivation chamber where you lie in water filled with 1,200 pounds of salt. I did that, and you do that for an hour. And it's really my favorite way to kind of unplug from the world. Very rarely am I off my phone for more than an hour, or not talking to someone, or doing something else. So this is really the best way for me to be conscious and really just kind of detach.
I like that. I got to do a flow pod myself. That's one of the things I plan on doing, because I want to really sit in there and really have control over my senses, as well as with my thoughts, and being there with my thoughts, being there with myself, so I can analyze everything and take a step back and see what's working and what's not working.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. I mean, a lot of places offer, some half price thing or buy one, get one just to get into it. First time's always the weird self-exploration for a lot of people, because, I've had friends that have tried it and they can't even be in there for an hour. So What does that say about you and how comfortable you are with yourself?
Damn, that's true.
When you can't even deal with that. There's like a little microphone on the side of the pod. If you're floating, you can actually radio the front desk, and they were telling me all these crazy stories about people radioing them and having these wild conversations while they're in the pod. They're probably deep in 20 milligrams of gummies or something, and God knows what's going on. So
that's funny.
Yeah, but I love it. You kind of you can choose to have a little light on or music on. I think you can attach your phone if you want like a certain type of music going on, but I prefer just to be in silence, in the dark. And after a while, once you get into a comfortable position, you feel like you're kind of floating in space, and it's pretty dope.
What was your first time like when you did it? Like, what made you go do the flow pod for the first time?
I'm always looking for ways to kind of, how do I explain? Kind of just, reflect on me, reflect on myself. And one of my friends back at the East Coast, I grew up in the East Coast, started doing it, and he was just recommending the value of its mental benefits and things like that. So that's when I tried it. I tried it out for the first time, maybe, I'm going to say 4 years ago now. And yeah, the first time is always the weirdest time, because you're trying to figure out how to get comfortable. And then the whole idea of you just being naked and floating in water is just funny.
That's true.
In a big white plastic pod. So once you get over that, though, you kind of sink into some relaxation mode. And I do remember my first time, there were like billions of thoughts going through my head, and a lot of things like I never even really addressed with myself, because I either put it off, because it's just me talking to me in my head. But it was awesome. I loved it. And once you're done, you go on the relaxation room, you can hang out on there. And one thing I really loved on the table in the place is a notebook where customers or guests just write down whatever they want after their experience. And it was kind of wild going through some of the pages of what people had gone through and how they felt after. And it was really, I thought that was amazing. So really cool.
Most definitely. I'm going to have to check it out myself. I might have to go this weekend, because I've always wanted to do a float pod, but I've never knew anyone that did it until now. Yeah. So you persuaded me, and I'm going to have to go check it out, and I'll let you know how that whole experience is of being in there. Did you last the whole hour, or you was like,
oh yeah,
30 minutes?
Yeah, I lasted the whole hour. Yeah. So okay. They pretty much tell you to stick with it. And I don't know, if I've already paid for something, Like I feel like I need to get my value no matter what. So, um, so yeah, that's all I recommend. No matter how antsy you get, or whatever, just stick with it and kind of just, or they recommend breathing techniques sometimes, and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely, it's definitely worth checking out. I would love to hear about your experience. I love hearing about first time experiences with that. My wife did not like it, but but uh, but I think it's awesome. I do it at least once a year, maybe twice a year.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do that myself and really take inventory and whatnot. Like I said, I'm gonna look for one and go this weekend just to see how it is and get that whole experience because I've always wanted to do it and I want to see how if I last the whole hour and just how it is just being in there.
Yeah, yeah. If you're sure, I think you would love it off the bat. So, and then after that, yeah, I just chilled out. Then we went to Blossom, which is a high-end Chinese restaurant at the Aria Hotel, for dinner with a couple of friends. So, and that was great, really good.
Most definitely. How's the year been for you?
Year's been great. I feel like I'm busier than ever. So it's been awesome.
Man, busier than ever. I like that. Got to stay busy. I know as we come to the tail end of the year, I feel like this year just floated on by, especially if you've always been busy consistently. What did you learn about yourself this year?
It's not really something I've learned, but just more of just being at peace and comfort with myself. And I think um, perhaps the my biggest takeaway has been that quality of life, how much work
Mm.
I'm putting in. You know, I love and respect the grind that everyone does, but you know, mental health is important. Detaching is important, and so what I've learned recently is that the quality of work is more important than the quantity of work.
Mm.
And so I find myself saying no to a lot more pitches, um, a lot more potential clients than I used to because prior lockdown, I think I was just pretty much just straight chasing money the entire time, regardless of the quality of food or how crazy the client was or anything like that. Where now it's completely different. You know, thankfully, I'm more popular than I was 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. So I have more of a power position to say yes and no, and do it on my own terms.
And that's what it's all about to coming to the realization, like you said, the quality of life is more important than the uh, quantity of work, even though you want quality of work and quantity of work, but it's more better to have that peace and not really feel like you have to chase every dollar that's thrown at you. Especially like you said, over the past 2 years, you've grown your brand to where it's like, okay, I can withstand on my own to where I can say no to some clients who don't um, don't really have the best interests at heart. They are just focused on getting their rising their brand themselves versus like nah, it comes down to the quality of food, the quality of person that you are, and if y'all can really if you align with what I'm doing.
Totally.
So
Totally.
so
That's the
like
most important thing. And I've actually given money back from some of the brands that when the food sucked because I just didn't want to stand by this, you know, the dog shit that I was eating. So um yeah, so I'm just trying to be more conscious of you know, caring about what I'm doing, and then also, you know, I know if it affects, like, people do value my opinion, they when they go to places because I posted it. You know, the thing that hurts the most is when they DM me and say, oh, I thought that place sucked. You know, so, and obviously tastes are completely different from one
yeah.
person to another, but you know, I want them to feel confident that they can rely on me to give a consistent uh, quality of opinion on the food.
No, I feel you on that because that's true. Because you are a big foodie, and everybody knows who you are throughout Vegas and whatnot. So they really highly value your opinion. So you have to. You started doing to where you're like, yo, if the food is sucks or the food is trash, I can't stand by this. I got to give the money back because people really value my opinion, and I'll lose people, and versus trying to stay with a business that's not up and running or doesn't have good quality food. Can't have dog shit food. Like you said, you want some good food that makes people feel good when they eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. And they, I mean, some of these places aren't cheap. So, if $300 for a dinner for two is a ridiculous amount of money that they're shelling out maybe once a year, I wanted to make it count. I want them to really have the best time. My wife and I did recently go to a couple places that, we just had dinner recently at Hakkasan, and it was probably the 10th time we had been there. It was actually the most lackluster time. And we're kind of looking each other over. It wasn't terrible, but it was like 3 out of 5 stars. But a high-end restaurant like that should never be 3 stars.
Yeah.
And I gave them a whole list of things of what we didn't like and why I wasn't posting. And a lot of these places always just have the assumption that whether you liked it or not, you're going to post, because a lot of these foodies need content daily because they're always posting. But God knows I need the content as well, but I can't just say this was a great dinner, because it wasn't. So yeah,
that's true. Do you feel like the pandemic hindered or accelerated your growth?
It definitely accelerated my growth. I don't think I would have hit 100K followers by the end of 2020 had the pandemic not had happened. Although I did initially lose a lot of clients that weren't ready to do takeout or delivery once lockdown started, and that was a huge blow to me. All of a sudden, all these restaurants started reaching out, wanting to do feature takeout, feature whatever, cooking ware, other stuff like that. And then, realizing that everyone was just sitting at home on their phones, instead of posting one time a day, I doubled up and started posting, 14 videos a week.
Damn.
On Instagram. Yeah. Or more. And also that honed my skills with video editing and things like that. Cause prior to lockdown, I still primarily just posting pictures. And so it was a great way for me to another way to detach from all the crazy busy shit I was doing and really just focus on, working on my craft and putting out the best product and best work possible. And I think once everything started opening again, a lot of places started reaching out to me once they were ready, because they were all sitting on their phones too, looking at this, the content I was putting out, or all the foodies were putting out. So it definitely accelerated things for me. Yeah.
That's good too. Like that was the best thing. I want to say probably the best thing for anybody that had any brand or anything. It gave that time where the lockdown is, you can really step back and focus on building your craft. Like you said, it really helped you with your video editing, that now your videos is like HD, and you see them, and I see like the editing and the time it took that you did behind them, because every video I'm like, man, that food looks mouth watering, and I just want to grab it out the screen. So especially with everybody being at home, like you said, everybody's on their phone, so they're waiting for content. So he's like, instead of posting one video a day, let me double up and post 14 videos a week, so I can really start building my followers and building my brand, so everybody knows who I am, especially when everybody's at home. And a lot of restaurants weren't doing takeout. They were just doing like, oh, we're going to shut down until this blows by. And that's where they lost money, lost clientele. It's like, I can't do that. I'm a foodie, so I have to figure a way around this. So I maneuvered and worked on my editing, and then started reaching out, or other people started reaching out to me for their takeout services.
Yeah. I mean, it was amazing. So yeah, that was definitely something. And then also working on TikTok as well. I mean, so many people blew up on TikTok throughout 2020. And yeah, I mean, I think maybe that's why a lot of people can't find employees. They're all TikTok superstars now. I don't know.
That is so true. TikTok just blew up. Everybody just stayed at home and figured it out through TikTok.
Yeah.
Man, did you? I was going to ask, did the pandemic affect your business? How did it affect your business? But you said it grew, it accelerated your growth. So I'm pretty sure it accelerated the business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So beyond the initial opening of lockdown, where I think there was one day I lost like 6 clients in one day, and it was just phone call after phone call or email after email, and it was just like I was just sitting there, hadn't shaved in like 5 days, and I'm just like what the heck? Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And so yeah, all I kind of thought of, well, the only thing I can do now is just work harder. I mean, I got nothing else going on, so let's just start grinding away on the phone. But yeah, as soon as lockdown ended, a lot of great brands who I admired from afar did reach out. We had some great meetings, and I'm proud to say they're some of my favorite, my best clients that have had some amazing success stories in late 2020 and onto this year as well.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm glad like you took the time. He was like sitting at home trying to figure out what to do. He said I ain't shaved in 5 days. I'm like, the first beginning of lockdown, it was like nobody knew what the outcome would be. We were just sitting there waiting for something to happen. But you took life by the horns and you was like, yo, I'm gonna make this work for me and figure out how to not let it affect my business too much. Even though I lost 6 clients in a day, I'm gonna bounce back with 12.
Yeah, totally.
Where'd the name LasVegasFill come from?
So LasVegasFill, PHIL, which is, my name is Philip with 1 L, was actually already taken at the time. So I don't know how I can explain this in a way that makes sense, but it was inspired by my wife. For some reason, instead of saying "I'm so full," she would say "I'm so Phil," and then I don't know. I just thought Las Vegas Phil, like get your fill of Las Vegas, would be the name. So there's no real great name, no real like spiritual awakening why I chose it, but it's stuck and that's what it is. So when I do get emails that start with "Hi Phil," FILL, that happens a lot, or they think I'm Filipino. But it's, it is what it is, and I can't change it now. So, but that's how it happened. It's my wife's inspiration.
Shout out to your wife for that, because it's real catchy though. Like Las Vegas Phil, like
Right.
you said, the real Phil was taken, so you have to switch it up to that because she's like, I'm Phil instead of being full, which makes sense because I was like Las Vegas feeling like you're like it's fulfilling, like feeling food. So I like the name.
Yeah. Yeah, and then LV Phil, PHIL, was taken by the Las Vegas Philharmonic Orchestra.
Of course.
So I couldn't take that one either. Yeah, but yeah, it worked out, and yeah, I'm just happy it did.
Good. What inspired you to start Las Vegas Phil?
So I was always, I guess, like I didn't realize I was really into food. This was just kind of how my life was. But I initially built my following in Las Vegas on Yelp. I was, I know it sounds like I'm bragging or whatever, but early 2010s, that kind of time, I was kind of considered Yelp famous for my reviews and my posts. So once I saw the initial first wave of social media foodies really make an impact in the city, and doing it differently than anything else in town, that's what really piqued my interest. People like Unlocked, Happy Tummy 702, Ryu Sauce, Ninja the Foodie, where on Yelp I was writing a complete review from start to finish of my experience. They can just focus on one dish that they love and talk about that. And so I thought that was really interesting. And once I met them for the first time, my interest really peaked around maybe mid 2016, late 2016, to give Instagram a go and see where it took me. So yeah, that's kind of where it started. And then I probably things didn't really start happening for me on Instagram maybe till late 2017.
Why did things start picking up in late 17?
I think it's just the quality of my posts, the quality of pictures were better. My explanation of the why, I was giving like an actual opinion on why this dish was good, instead of just, oh, here's some fried chicken and waffles, or here's a great steak. So, and then a few of the posts went viral, and that's when other business owners started recognizing that, hey, there's something here. He's just another one of these foodies IG Foodie's making some waves now, and so then I started getting reached out to by restaurants and brands probably around then. I think at that time I only had maybe, oh man, I probably only had maybe 5,000 followers. Yeah, but it was a small community at the time. There was maybe only less than 15 Instagram foodies really making waves at that time. So yeah, that's what started happening.
That's good. You caught the wave at the right time for the foodie
Yeah.
game, because like you say, your quality of picture started changing, and you began being more descriptive about the food that you was eating, instead of, like you said, posting chicken and waffles. And that's that, like, oh, try this. But it's like, when people see the description and the caption about the food, like, oh, these chicken and waffles are mouth watering, the best in town, especially how fluffy the waffles get and everything. And people like, oh, that'll start getting people's minds start racing, like, oh, I got to try it, I got to have it. So I understand.
And at that time, I was still at kind of my peak of Yelp, where the reviews still resonated, and so it was kind of like Instagram was like a complimentary thing to my Yelp posts, and so that's how I initially got my initial following on Instagram, was through the Yelpers that were following me.
Shout out to the Yelpers out there.
Shout out to Yelpers. It's really the only true frontier of an original opinion, even though most of the opinions are crazy and stupid. But I mean, Google reviews is the same thing. I mean, it's really the last place where you have an unpaid, unbiased opinion, and that's kind of unfortunate, because in social media these days, some of the foodies that I'm friends with, either sometimes didn't eat the food or were paid. Whether they liked it or not. So I have to ask them, behind the scenes, whether they recommend it. Where I try not to do that. I don't do that. So
yeah. I get you. What
real.
was your vision in the beginning when it came to your brand?
That's a good question. So I never really thought of it as a brand.
Okay.
This was just me documenting where I went and what I did, and if people wanted to come along, then great. I really believe that without social media, with all this stuff, I'd still be going out at least 5 times a week, doing all these crazy dinners and all that stuff. But I think when I became conscious of it, when it became more than just me posting and really understanding that, it's weird because I feel like I'm in a bubble sometimes, and I don't, I see numbers on a screen that say 10,000 likes or whatever, but that doesn't really hit me as like 10,000 people. It's just like a score in a video game or something sometimes. So it wasn't until, maybe mid 2018 when I started, when corporate places started reaching out and saying, the LasVegasFill brand, that I was like, what's, like, this is a thing. Like, so I guess, that's how they perceive it. I have a hard time perceiving myself as a brand, or LasVegasFill as a brand still. It's just me,
like, I'm just myself.
Yeah.
It's crazy how it catches fire though, because like you say, you're just going out documenting, like, hey, if you want to come with me on my journey, this is my journey. I'm eating at, let's say, hypothetically, Hakkasan, and I'm eating some good food tonight. Oh, I like this food. I just recorded it, and eventually just caught on fire, where everybody's like, yo, this is a brand. And you're like, no, it's just myself. But you, like you said, you wouldn't really think of it as a brand at first, but now it's transitioning to a big brand.
I'm flattered you think of it that way. I don't know. When I think of brands, I think of like Doritos or like Tom Brady TB12 or something like that, where there's like hundreds of people working for this one person, where in actually it's just me and my wife in our home, so yeah. I don't, it's hard for me to think of it that way. So
I understand. Because like you say, compared to Doritos and Cheetos and everything like that, TB12, it's like, it's not there, but it's a digital, it's a brand within the foodie industry, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I do, I do realize that people I mean, a lot of my followers are not in Vegas. I mean, they're really just planning their vacation, or they're planning their next trip to Vegas, and those are a lot of the DMs that I get on restaurant recommendations and all that stuff. So yeah, I am definitely conscious of, how people or how followers perceive the posts. So I want to make them as authentic as possible.
Got you. What advice would you give to anyone who wants to become a foodie?
I really think it comes down to initially your passion for food. But if you're going to start from zero today, I would be on TikTok. That would be my advice. I think Instagram is slowly dying. I know they're trying to tweak some stuff, but if you really want to make an impact on the social media food scene right now at 0 followers today, join TikTok and just start getting better at editing videos, and perhaps maybe voiceovers to kind of make an impact. It's easier to blow up on TikTok now. I've several foodies had 5,000 followers, and then in 3 weeks they have 125,000 based on a couple of posts that just went viral. So that's what I would do, and I would honestly kind of formulate an opinion. A lot of the TikToks now are very salesy, and they don't really tell you what they think of it. And I think having an opinion is important, because that's kind of going away. I feel like on social media, at least in food, you can't say something sucks or it's bad. So that would be my initial advice. But yeah, as long as you have an opinion, go to places that you're passionate about. You don't have to just do a double cheeseburger from McDonald's. So, although you can make that funny too, I guess. Yeah. What's your favorite?
You said what's my favorite? Favorite what? Restaurant or food?
What
food
restaurant?
Overall?
Yeah, restaurant or food. Yeah.
Food overall is Jamaican food. I'm Jamaican, so I love any type of Jamaican food.
Nice.
And then restaurant, dang, that's tough. I have a lot, but it'll be this restaurant in Hollywood. It's called Bossa Nova.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a Brazilian spot, so it's real nice there. As well as I just came to mind right now, Fogo de Chao. Have you ever been there?
Yeah, been there many times. Great, great place.
Yeah, Fogo de Chao is one of my favorite places. I love them.
Yeah, salad bars top notch, and that's what really separates it from Texas de Brazil to me. Is, I mean, all that stuff, and the quality of meats are great. Yeah, I can't go wrong.
Most definitely. So, have you thought about going to like different cities, like, oh, let's just say LasVegasFill, or creating an app to where people can just go on instead of DM you and just going on like, hey, I'm going to Los Angeles today. What are the best restaurants out there? Have you ever thought about doing that, or are you just staying focused on Vegas?
Right now, I'm just staying focused on Sin City. If I could clone myself or find other people to work with, then I wouldn't mind doing an LA thing. But I really just, when I do go to LA or others, if I can film behind the scenes, I'll do that and just document that as part of just a trip. But I haven't really thought about making a permanent residence in another city as far as for social media. I just, there's several reasons for that, but I guess the biggest thing would be finding quality people to work with that I trust. And maybe that's because I have a problem letting go of and being a control freak for my own stuff. And that's something I need to grow, need to learn, expand on, and in order for myself, I need to be able to let go and trust, and just assume they're going to fuck up at some point.
Yeah, that's true too. And I understand you on that, especially when you're like a control freak and you said it's just been you and your wife doing everything. So it's like when you hand the keys over to somebody else and they just mess up the brand or mess up your whole image, and you're like, man, this is why I didn't want to really extend out or anything like that. But like you said, they're eventually going to fuck up. So it's like you're gonna fuck up someday. So let me just take you by the hand and show you the blueprint. Here's the system of what I did to get
Yeah,
everything in line to get to where I'm at today. So this is what you have to do. Like you said, today, the biggest thing to really get your way in any city that you're in is TikTok. Go on TikTok and have a valued opinion. If the food sucks, state why the food sucks and why and how it could get better, and then go on from your first post and figure out which places you're passionate about. Visit all your favorite restaurants that you're passionate about and really take an analysis and take it in. Is this food really good or are you good?
exactly. But as far as for an app, and I've kind of, I've been approached to do apps before and things like that. But really, like the last thing that I personally want to do is download a new app, like on my phone.
That's true.
I mean, I have limited space. I have like 150,000 photos and videos on my phone right now, and I just last thing I'm not on Discord or anything like that yet because I just don't want to download another app. And I don't know how well people are receptive to new apps. I don't know. How about you? What do you think?
Me personally, if a new app depends on if it's gonna help me or is it gonna hinder me. That's what it comes down to. If it's like an app, if it's an app to where it's about food and the best restaurants in the city or the state, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna download it because it's the best restaurants and it's your app and I value your opinion because of what you've created so far. But
Right.
any new app, like if it's a games or anything like that, I was like, I'm not gonna take the time to download no game apps or nothing. If anything, if it's not gonna help me learn or educate me, I'm not gonna download it.
Yeah, I'm trying to look. I'm looking right now at the last app I actually downloaded. I don't even know, man. Yeah, nothing.
Same here. I'm thinking like the last thing I did was the Apple editing videos thing. So
Right.
other than that, it's like a real rarity when you download apps. But I get you. Have you accomplished your goals this year, or is there still some stuff on the plate that you have to accomplish?
Always more work to do, and I think that's being your own boss, running the show yourself without anyone else to rely on. I mean, there's always something I could be doing, even at 2 a.m. When I get home, I could think about a bunch of stuff I need to do. So I don't. How do I explain? Like the people that announce their goals or announce their intentions, I don't do any of that stuff, and that probably makes me kind of stone age-ish. But subconsciously, I think about things I want to do and want to accomplish, but it's not so clear cut. It's not really. There's no finish line. It's just kind of the journey that's been happening, and if you asked me last year, if you talked to me last year, I there's a lot of things I never thought I'd be doing this year, and so that's just kind of the way it is. I don't have set goals. I'm kind of happy at what has happened this year and what's been going on, but yeah, I guess. Sorry, I'm not explaining this as well. I'm pretty happy with where things are going or how things are going. I just don't have any set goals of what I was planning to do in 2021 because a lot of it was, I mean, there's so many question marks. If we're going to go back to lockdown again, if we're going to, what's this and that. And I just feel like maybe I was just going to set myself up for disappointment. So I didn't set goals.
No, I understand that. Like, cause you like with the industry that you're in, it's like you said, we may not go into lockdown again, or we may stay open. So it's like always just you have to be on your toes when it comes to this because you never know what's going to happen next. So there's a lot of, like you said, a lot of question marks out there when it comes to this. So you're just playing it by ear and just taking everything that's coming at you, and playing it by ear and really receiving the things that's coming to you instead of just being like, I'm gonna plan this out or have goals and do this. I want to do this by next year. I want to have 6 to 7 more clients by next month. But who knows? Next month we could be totally different to where everything's back shut down, and you're like, dang, that's a goal. That's a disappointment. I'm disappointed in myself because I had that goal and I didn't accomplish it.
Yeah, and then I can already feel. I can already see how people would listen to this might think that I'm just being a coward and not setting goals, or not being the best version of myself. But I'm just, unfortunately, that's just how it is. I'm just me being real. From a life standpoint, being a full-time foodie, the only things I really need to worry about are not weighing 500 pounds and not getting carpal tunnel syndrome. So I have accomplished both of those things. So I do feel good about those goals.
That's funny. I was gonna ask you too, because I know you say your life and everything is chaotic majority of the time. Do you take mental health days?
I try to take one day off a week, at least, where there's nothing on the schedule. So I guess you could call it a mental health day. But no, I probably don't take enough mental health days. And I think that's why I do stuff like the Flow Pod, to kind of force myself to think about things. I feel like I'm always attached to some kind of medium, or whether I'm out just talking or drinking or eating with a bunch of people. So, but yeah, I try to at least have one day a week where I don't do anything work wise. And these days it's NFL Sundays, because I don't plan anything on Sundays, because all I want to do is watch football.
Man,
so, yeah.
Who's your favorite team?
I grew up in Boston, so I'm a New England Patriots fan. So last night was a trip. I still can't even process it. But at the end, I felt disappointed at the end. So I think in my heart, I was still rooting for the Patriots over Tom Brady. So
I got you. That's what a lot of fans show too in the game. They booing left and right as soon as he got on the field.
Yeah. Are you a football fan?
Yeah, I'm a Steelers fan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're looking horrible right now, but
I know. It's tough to see the last days of Ben.
Yeah, but we need to find our future QB ASAP.
But that man's a warrior. I mean, and I know the Rooney family, the Steeler family is not gonna do him like that. I mean, they're gonna play out the whole season no matter what. But
yeah,
we're actually going to LA at the end for Halloween for the Patriots Chargers game. We try to go to one game a year. Whether it's obviously not last year, but we've been to one Patriots game a year since I think 2011.
Okay.
And so that's our thing. Fortunately, my wife does like football, is really into it as well.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to Ayumi. And so we're just kind of flipping between Red Zone channel and the Patriots game, or watching Tom Brady most of the time. So it's been cool.
Got you. What was your favorite Patriots game that you've been to?
Ooh, man. Okay. There's a couple of them. So one was in San Diego, when it was still the San Diego Chargers at Qualcomm Stadium. And at that point, I was 0-3 lifetime watching Patriots games during the Tom Brady era, which is ridiculous. So I saw them lose in Miami twice and Seattle as well. And so that was the game I kind of got the hump off my back, just kind of watching them win in Qualcomm. And then it was actually like at least 70% Boston fans, Patriots fans in the stadium. So it was like, it was like Boston West. It was unbelievable. And so that was a great one that I really enjoyed. Also, which one? AT&T Stadium, Cowboy Stadium, which was an awesome one as well. Just because the stadium itself was super nice, and we got to tour the stadium the day before and go on the field and all that. So that was really special.
That's nice. I've never been to AT&T Stadium, but it's like you said, it's real nice. It's a nice stadium and everything. They got everything in there.
Yeah, and I highly recommend taking the tour. I mean, you end up on the field at the end. They have a bunch of footballs just kind of on the field, so you can run around and throw and kick field goals if you want. It's pretty freaking amazing.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. Have you been to Allegiant Stadium?
The last game I went to was it was at Qualcomm Stadium when the San Diego Chargers were still there. I believe it was probably like 5 to 6 years ago. I remember it like it was yesterday. Le'Veon Bell ran in for the game-winning touchdown, and I was sitting right above where everything happened, and I was like, it was crazy.
What a cool moment.
Yeah, it's so this year I'm planning on going to the Chargers and Steelers game in LA as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so hopefully our record's turned around by then.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's better to choose the Steelers play Chargers than the Rams. So
Yeah, that's true.
at least there's a chance. But
but
yeah,
I
that's what
already know it's gonna be a whole lot of stuff. Just like you said, a lot of Boston fans at Qualcomm. That's how it was when I went to the San Diego game. A lot of Steeler fans there.
yeah, and for a big fan base like that, I mean, you can't be the destination game, and San Diego or LA or Vegas now is just one of the best places to go see one.
Mm-hmm.
Just half the stadium these days for Allegiant moving forward will probably be visiting team fans, so it's going to be great.
Most definitely, I can't wait for this game this year.
Yeah.
What do you feel? What do you feel like your biggest accomplishment is?
In what are we talking about? Just in life, or
Well,
just?
I was gonna say in life too, but I was asked a question. This year.
I think just being more comfortable with myself. So I think once TikTok started blowing up with the voiceovers, so a lot of new people entered the food social media scene based on their voiceover on their TikToks and just kind of talking about their experiences. And it was something that I was not comfortable with at all. Listening to my voice, doing it in this way, and fortunately, a company reached out and wanted to do a podcast with me, and that's when I really came out of my shell as far as for voicing my opinion. I was forced to listen to myself all the time because I had to edit the fucking podcast for YouTube, for StreamYard, and all that stuff. And then once I got over my initial trepidation with listening to myself and other people listen to myself, I just got over it. I finally got over it after like 6 months or a year. And that's when things really started happening on TikTok for me is when I was able to really confidently talk about the restaurant in a voiceover piece, in a post piece. And then that's what I'm probably most proud of. I never thought I'd be able to get to that point. And hopefully that will be a launch pad for things in the future, because of my general comfort with just doing something like this, where this time last year I was like, there's no fucking way. So, yeah.
I feel you too. Sometimes we're afraid to get out of our shell or get out of our comfort zone when it comes to certain things. Like, I understand where you come from when it comes to hearing your own voice, because that's how I am too when I do the podcast. I'm like, I ain't gonna hear my voice right now. I'm gonna just edit it and do it later, because it's like you're hearing your voice, you're like, I'm sound messed up right there or something like that. You're like, so.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
get
can't. No one's going to be a bigger critic of yourself than you, or maybe your mom. But yeah, it's something that you come. A lot of people don't come face to face with, and I think it's an interesting thing, like, what you're going through, and myself as well. And it's just been part of the whole maturation process of just being comfortable with yourself.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to, just being comfortable with yourself and accepting yourself for who you are, accepting your voice as well.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing I'm most proud of. I really started putting in more effort into TikTok at the end of July. I pretty much have posted every day with a voiceover and caption since then, and I mean, fortunately, the effort has paid off. I've gotten over 200K followers since end of July on TikTok, and I'm hoping to keep that growing and have that evolve even more. So it should be cool. And then my other goal is definitely the whole YouTube medium. it wasn't until this year where actual Vegas locals started making an impact on YouTube. There was a huge gaping hole for many years where nothing was happening. All of a sudden, a lot of these guys have popped up now, and I want to make a conscious effort to do more of that too.
I got you. I got you. How long are your do you plan on your videos being only for YouTube? Because I know like with TikTok and Instagram, it's like they got the minute to minute and a half or even 15 seconds for
Yeah.
per clip. So I know with YouTube you can go from a minute to all the way to 30 minutes to an hour to however long you want to go.
Yeah, so I don't have that many subscribers right now. I think maybe 150. So I think I can only upload only 15 minutes. But I ideally would like to do just 5 to 10 minutes and then also sprinkle that in with YouTube Shorts. YouTube
Okay.
Shorts, which is YouTube's version of TikTok. They're really pushing that. And I see, I mean, there are people just making their living off the 15-second videos. They've received, they've gone viral and have 100K followers or more, and that's their bread and butter. That's what they're doing to make money now, which is crazy. But I think just a mix of both. My real only issue with featuring food on YouTube, like to do it well, would be I have to shoot everything twice. Because if I'm by myself, I have to shoot everything for IG first, and then I have to reshoot it horizontally for YouTube and pretend like I'm doing it for the first time. I don't know. I gotta figure that out.
I get what you're saying, and that's true too. Because you shoot everything on your iPhone and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, I'm shooting it vertically for IG stories and for TikTok, and then I gotta shoot it, portrait style again. So yeah, I mean, I've had some people offer like videographers to film me do it, and then we kind of split the profits and all that kind of stuff. But I just I know I just got to figure it out.
Yeah, that's what it seems like it comes down to, just figuring out. You figured out everything else, honestly. You figured out Instagram, you figured out Facebook, you figured out the TikTok. So now it's like next up is YouTube to figure out. And by this time next year, you'll be up and running, up and booming, and you look back like, man, last year I had 150 followers, now I got 150,000 followers. So
that would be amazing.
Subscribers.
That would be amazing. We'll see.
So I know what's coming, because everybody loves. You already have your name out there. It's just taking what you already learned from different platforms and taking it over to YouTube and making it work.
Yeah. And I think the best byproduct of all of this is just, being my own boss and having 2.5 years ago to quit my job, my real job, and do this full time. It's something I don't take for granted, and I, people, instead of saying I have to do this, I get to do this. And I think sometimes I need to check myself. If I get irritated because the steak was sliced incorrectly, or the chef went off on a weird cooking process on the video and all this, I need to step back and be like, hey, I could still be grinding away, shilling timeshare like I did for 10 years. Instead of just filming fried chicken or pizza or whatever. And I even myself, and this goes back to mental health and self-reflection. These are really trivial things compared to the whole landscape of life, and I just need to be more aware of that.
It's like being more grateful for what you have. Like you said, you could have been grinding out, selling timeshares, still be there, but you got blessed with doing this job, being a foodie and everything, and which is great, because all you're doing is just trying food, leaving out reviews and whatnot. It's like you're doing something you love, something you're passionate about, versus like selling timeshares. Like you just selling timeshares all day in the office. It's like, is this fulfilling my life? And it's like, nah. What versus this one? It's like you found your purpose. Do you feel like this is your purpose?
Purpose. Ooh, that's heavy. No, I don't think this is my purpose.
Okay.
This is just something I like to do, and all the great stuff that has happened is a byproduct of, me being consistent with this and pushing the envelope with this. I mean, but when it comes down to purpose and all that, I think that might be a 2-hour float, man. I got to think about it.
I'm glad I'm giving you some float topics to think about.
Yeah.
To go on. So that's good as well. How did you know it was time for you to quit your job and to dedicate your time full time to this?
Sure. So the biggest awakening for me, the probably the biggest reason why I quit my job in 2019 was when a college friend of mine, we're the same age, she has suddenly had a seizure and just died face first on her bed.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And I flew back to New York City for the funeral. I'd never been to a funeral before. And it was just such a heavy experience. And I thought about, God, we're the same age, how the fragility of life and all that. And so I think when I was walking around NYC my last day and flying back on the plane, I'm just thinking I should just do whatever the fuck I want to do, because this is crazy. Like, I can't believe Maria's dead. I still to this day, that's kind of like what makes me think of, appreciate life. And, and I just imagine her just telling me that same thing. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just do whatever you want to do, because, she's not here anymore. So that was maybe early 2019. And then I made a conscious effort to try to make, for the next few months, just make more money than I did at my regular job, make more on my side hustle. And once I was consistently able to do that, I felt more comfortable just taking the leap. What Gary Vee says all the time, I mean, you'd always get another shitty job. So,
yeah, that's true.
So just doing that, taking the leap in, I think July 2019 is when I resigned, and just never looked back. It's been amazing.
That's good. Like you said, I'm sorry about your loss once again. And it put everything into perspective when you went out there and went to the funeral and everything. Like, am I really doing what I love, or do I just want to do whatever the fuck I want to do? Like Gary Vee said, you can get another shitty job, but right now, what I want to do is continue writing these Yelps reviews, as well as start picking up and becoming a foodie. And that's what you've done over time. From 2 years, you've accomplished a lot, and I'm pretty sure you impacted a lot of people with your reviews and with the food that they've seen and tried, because of you took that risk, you took that leap. Like, yo, I got to go do this, because where I'm at right now, I don't see myself here any longer. There's an expiration date on this job. If I want to come back, I can always come back. But this right now, something's telling me in another direction.
Totally. And I think for a lot of people, that's the scariest thing. So, and fortunately for me, it is just my wife and I. We don't have kids. We don't have, that many expenses they're too out of control. So,
got you.
And that helps. I mean, if we, people that have 5 kids and a ridiculous mortgage and car payments and all that stuff, like, that's a whole different situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do feel fortunate to have been able to do that.
Got you. I'm going to take a little step back. What made you decide to move to Vegas?
So this is a lot. So I'll try to make this as short as possible. So okay. I grew up in Boston. I lived in New York City for 10 years. And then I had some personal issues where the person I was with at that time, we broke up and we had to sell our apartment. And I was just sick of living in New York. I was just sick of the winter and all that stuff, living in snow. So I actually moved to Japan, became an English teacher for 2 years from New York. I wanted to do something drastically different with my life, and it was the best thing I ever did. But through all that time in New York and then into Japan, I was playing a ton of poker online, to where it became a pretty lucrative side gig. And so I wanted to, I mean, in that time in 2005, 2006, poker was really at its peak, as far as for online and all the cash that was coming through. And so I wanted to, I'd taken a couple side trips to Vegas while I was in Japan. I basically played poker for a week straight. I even forgot what day it was. And I went to I went to the airport a day early once when I was about to fly back to Japan. It was so embarrassing, but so I felt like, yeah, let's, I've already ditched my previous life in New York. I was working in the music business, and I wanted to try something new. Vegas was just calling. The cost of living, no snow, always something to do. I really feel like Vegas is really where the city that never sleeps now. I mean, New York kind of shuts down at 2 a.m. these days. So all of those things combined, my wife and I did travel around the U.S. for about a month and a half, to kind of have a vacation and look at some cities around the U.S. But I really wanted to move here. This is where everything was happening, and that's what I did.
Got you. How was that transition from New York to Japan? Because that's like, I feel like that's just a big leap across the country.
Yeah, it was
across the world.
Yeah, it was amazing. To go from all the craziness of New York City, where my job really didn't end till like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. at night, to basically moving halfway across the world to a small city called Toyohashi, where I was riding my bicycle to a train station to go to school to teach English was amazing. Japan is just one of the greatest places ever. If you've never been, I highly recommend it. It's just a mind-blowing place, and I made lifelong friends. I met my wife there. She worked for the same company that I did, and it's my favorite place to be. Japanese food is my favorite food in the world. I ate sushi 3 times a day, and it was just it was amazing.
Oh man, I like that. Yeah, you and your wife
Have you been?
I haven't been to Japan, but it is on my list.
So I plan on going maybe sometime next year. I plan on going.
Yeah, I think Japan's gonna be crazy once they open the door. Yeah, once they open the doors up, the tourism is going to be insane. I feel like in
I
Japan.
believe it too.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. But yeah, it's just a magical place that will always have a special place in my heart. And yeah, probably if my Japanese were better, maybe I would have stayed longer. But poker was calling. I mean, I was playing nonstop in Japan and killing it. So yeah, I just took my bankroll and moved here, and then that did not go as I expected, as the roller coaster of gambling and all that stuff was just extremely stressful. Living in Vegas, and my wife was playing a lot too, and I think it affected both of us quite a bit. So although it was a bummer that the U.S. government shut down the biggest poker sites in 2011, it was perhaps maybe a silver lining, because we maybe could have been complete degenerates by this point, living in a shitty apartment or something like that. So, but I still play from time to time. I still enjoy the game. It's just not living anymore. So it's way too much of a grind. And the people I sit with at the table, I look around and I'm like, I would not want to hang out with any of these people ever
outside of this.
And outside of this table, last thing I want to hear is a bad beat story about how they lost with aces, or the guy next to me hasn't showered in 3 days and because he's been playing 3 days straight. It's just there was definitely a dark side to it where before I was just playing online, where I was just by myself. So I think I prefer that over playing live.
Got you. I think yeah, online is way better versus like you said, being alive, being next to the guy that hasn't showered in 3 days, being next to the dude that lost and talking about how he lost everything and he's here trying to get everything back. So you're like, no, I'd rather stay online, stay in my own space.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's so many scumbags. I mean, I hear about the amounts of money that people are borrowing, and they're being staked by a lot of other people, and it's just crazy. The poker world's crazy, and honestly, it's becoming more of a zero sum game now. I mean, people have studied this game so much and so much that, I mean, it's basically just if someone's going to flip a coin 50 times and hit heads 50 times, and that's who wins the tournament now. So yeah, but I enjoy that time. I grew a lot throughout that time. I realize now, that both my wife and I were super immature when we moved here in '06. And maybe in 20 years, I'll think we're super immature now. So
That's how it goes.
yeah. But it was a growing process, and I learned a lot of valuable lessons through poker, and that I still incorporate in my life today.
What were the 3 valuable lessons that you learned from poker?
So I think the most important is being even keeled. Really, if you let the emotions get to you, the wave of emotions get to you. If you lose on the river card and you lose like $2,000 in one hand, I need to be able to let that go. I cannot hold on to that because it doesn't serve me. So being able to turn the page quickly, and being able to just not be on tilt, not have it affect my future play later on. That's probably the most valuable lesson. And so I try not to have little things in life affect me. I try to stay even keeled. And I think that's, after experiencing so many bad beats after bad beats, like a real poker player doesn't even remember like the great hands that they've won. They only remember the terrible losses.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of where I'm at. And so I think poker has definitely helped me stay more even keeled in life.
Got you. If you had the opportunity to see your future, would you?
How far down the road? Well, the future's a coffin, so I don't know. I mean, that's for everybody.
5 years from now.
Nah.
Nah.
No, I think that would really fuck me up.
That's a
what do you
good
think?
question. I'm thinking. I think like you said, because it will mess you up mentally that you see 5 years ahead and you think like everything's destined and in place. You're like, oh, 5 years from now, I'm gonna have all this successes and everything. But it's like it'll get you like lackadaisical to where you won't put the work in that you need to put in to get there.
Yeah. I mean, perhaps I wouldn't mind having maybe a phone call with myself 10 years from now, maybe like a 5-minute phone call.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a little helpful. A couple of hints.
What would be 2 questions you would ask your future self if you had that 5-minute phone call?
It would probably be some health. Maybe if I had any health issues, maybe I should be cutting down on the sodium, or they might tell me I should start going vegan now.
Got you.
So I think it would probably be a health issue, and just general health, and then maybe, God, what would the second question be? Holy shit. I don't know. Maybe something like 3 stocks I should be investing in.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. Or
That's
maybe if
funny.
who's gonna win the Super Bowl in 3 years, so I can just bet huge on that. So
Oh, man. Good questions.
Yeah.
What do you think is more important, time or money?
Time. Hands down.
Time.
Nobody's gonna be taking all that time they sat behind a desk to their grave. They're gonna think about that vacation or the great time they had with their siblings or parents or kids. So that's the most important thing. I think as the world reopens up again, I'm trying to make a conscious effort to travel more. Because I can work remotely. Thankfully, that I want to do more of that. So, yeah, time is the most important thing. And Maria, my friend who passed away, taught me that. It was the biggest, most recent person to teach me that.
I love that. I believe time is more important as well. Getting down to the tail end of the episode. I got my next segment would be like Fab Five, basically your top five in every question that I'm about to ask right now. And the first question would be top five places to eat at in Vegas.
Okay, so for me, it's not an issue. I would go. My number five would be Kame Omakase. Chef Eric puts together an amazing multi-course Japanese sushi-based dinner nightly. That's $350 per person, but it is well worth it as it's a lot of fish flown in from Japan. It's just an amazing experience and really the best omakase in town. So I would definitely do that as my number five. Number four, I'm going to go with Bazaar Meat. Jose Andres, who's a terrific chef. He's in LA as well. Does an awesome kind of atypical steakhouse with a lot of different cuts, different styles of beef from different producers, ranches that normally aren't sold in Vegas. And I love the look of the interior. It's more like a really creepy Hannibal style setup.
That sounds dope.
Yeah, in a stylish way. And so I love that too. Number three, I'm going to go with, let me see, what would I do? Number three, I go with Partage. It's a local modern French restaurant off the Strip. 7-course dinner is only 110, where on the Strip would be at least double, maybe triple that. And they're doing really great Michelin star work. Number two, I'm going to go with A by Jose Andres as well. It's a small 10-seat dining experience where they serve like a 17 to 21 course dinner. You do need to reserve that like 90 days in advance because it fills up every time. And that's kind of like a Spanish version of Willy Wonka, if I could explain it. They dabble a lot in molecular gastronomy. So a lot of weird things are popping in your mouth, and there's a lot of interesting foams and dry ice and all this other stuff. And it's a really cool experience. And the number one would be Joel Robuchon. Joel Robuchon at MGM Grand. He was billed the chef of the century of the 20th century. Overall, just amazing, fine French dining experience, completely snobby, completely pinkies up. And it's just a really great setting. And that would be my number one in Vegas.
Gotcha. I'm about to try all five of these places, but the last two really got me on. Once you said it's like a Willy Wonka effect at the Jose Andres, yeah. I'm like, I have to go there as well as Joe Robuchon's spot as well.
Yeah.
Man, all that food got me hungry now. For real.
Yeah, I'm done to go now. But yeah, those places are not cheap. I mean, holy shit. I mean, if you're gonna do dinner for two, you could fly to Hawaii. But they're amazing.
Most definitely. What is the top five
in the cities or
no
countries?
In the world? Like your top five places you visit all over the world.
Okay, if I'm going to go 5-1, oh man. So I'm just gonna rank cities if that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, number one would definitely be Tokyo. I mean, there's nothing like it. People think New York City's big. People think LA's big. They have no idea. Like Tokyo is just a whole other level, and just the society in general is just, to me, just awe-inspiring. I mean, just the way people operate, and it's more of a society-based outlook versus individual. I don't imagine people are protesting anti-mask, anti-vaccine like they did at Cosmopolitan yesterday,
Man.
fighting security guards making $10 an hour. Like they don't need to be there. Like I feel terrible for those guys. But so, and even like you think about like there's cushions on the train. I mean, all the seating is cushioned. Like that could never last in New York. Like it wouldn't even last an hour in New York City. So that's what blows my mind. So Tokyo for sure. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Paris. I love France. I've been there 3 times. Just the vibe, just everything. I love that. New York City, I always has a special place in my heart. That's number 3. I lived there, like I said, I lived there for 10 years. Every time I go back, I love going there, and preferably in spring or fall. Number 4. Probably San Diego. Okay. I mean, and then number 5, just Hawaii in general is just amazing. So,
Got you. I love all those places. I'm surprised you didn't say Boston. I was waiting for you to say Boston because I knew it was where you grew up at. So I was like,
right.
What is he gonna say?
So, I think I don't like Boston in general. Okay. Like my parents still live in that same house I grew up in. My brother married an Italian girl. He's never leaving. But since I was in my early teens, maybe even before then, my intention was always to leave. I never wanted to live there. I was very just uncomfortable with myself. And I didn't realize that till later, until I moved to New York. Even though that's not even that far away, it was like worlds away. Such a difference. I mean, I didn't have any. All of my friends were white, Irish, or Italian. I didn't have any Jewish friends. I didn't know anybody. I mean, I didn't even have Asian friends. So that was really the awakening for me, to start, the building blocks to developing my own life and my own way of thinking.
I got you.
Yeah. Boston sports all the way, but I hope the Red Sox beat the Yankees tomorrow, 100-1.
No. I'm a Yankees fan.
Oh, what? Oh no. Okay. Well, I should have asked that in the beginning. We didn't have to do this episode then. But
that's funny.
So actually, I've seen more Red Sox games in the old Yankee Stadium than at Fenway.
That's crazy.
And so, I mean, there's been some savage moments. I mean, back in the early 2000s, late 90s, when the rivalry was extremely heated, when it wasn't really a rivalry because the Yankees kept on winning, but but that was like the peak for me. I mean, it was crazy.
Man. I can't believe you.
But
I forgot you said Boston. So I know Boston, like you said, all Boston sports for you.
Yeah. But I'm super excited because it's been a while since there's been a really meaningful Red Sox Yankees game like this. So yeah, I can't wait. I definitely cleared the schedule to watch the game tomorrow.
Same here. I'm like, I can't wait for it to come on.
Yeah.
What do you feel like?
When was the last time you saw the Yankees in live? Have you?
Yeah, I've seen them. I think it was last month when they went to go play the Angels.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So it was real nice and everything, even though we lost that game, but
tons of Yankees fans, I'm sure. So
nothing but Yankee fans.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I did go to Anaheim to see the Sox. This was David Ortiz last season. I wanted to see him one more time. So that was pretty special for me. And then we did go back to Fenway to see a game. We were just in Boston a couple months ago, and that was great too.
Gotcha. Man, I wish I was able to see Ortiz play like live.
Yeah. I mean, it was just he's up there with Brady and Larry Bird and Bobby Orr and the pantheon of Boston
greats.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's going to make the Hall of Fame. I don't know if anyone outside of Boston and the Northeast feels this way, but
I believe he is though.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I don't think there has been a DH in the Hall of Fame yet. I'm not sure.
What do you feel like your 5 most used apps are?
My 5 most used apps. Well, definitely still Instagram, TikTok, Splice is when I do all my video editing on Splice. So that would be number 3. Right now it's all fantasy sports, but 4 would be Netflix, and then 5 would be Viki. Viki is like Asian Netflix, and I'm obsessed. I'm. This is maybe the first time I've admitted this in person. I'm obsessed with Korean dramas. So I love all that shit, and that's the reason why I subscribe to Viki. They have a lot of shows that Netflix doesn't have, although Netflix is expanding that, obviously, because Squid Game's so popular and all that stuff. But yeah, Korean dramas, Chinese dramas. Sometimes my wife and I will watch some of the Japanese stuff too on Viki. We rarely watch television together. She likes a completely set of different shows than I do, and Japanese, the ones that we watch together. So those would probably be my top 5 apps.
Got you. What are 5 things you can't live without?
5 things I can't live without. Oof. Wow. I don't think there's 5. Like, I've upended my life maybe 3 times, significantly upended my life, and I left a lot of stuff behind. So I, beyond personal relationships that I have with people I care about, I don't really think there's any material things that I am stuck with. I try not to do that. When I left New York, I left a ton of shit behind, and I just threw it out in the trash, and I just felt better about not holding it, not keeping it with me. So yeah, I guess I don't have 5 things.
I get you that. Like you said, you're not over possessive of materials. It's like you don't want to have that attachment to them. It's like, hey, if it goes, it goes. And that's what it is.
Yeah, and I think there's been a couple times in life where my laptop crashed and I lost everything, or my phone crashed and I lost everything, and that's just all just steps into realizing how, in the game of life, it was all kind of trivial stuff that maybe I thought was important, but looking back, I'm still alive, and nothing was really affected that much. So.
No, I feel you on that, because that's funny, because my laptop literally crashed yesterday, and I didn't have everything, all the script and everything, all the questions I had written out for this episode, can't even get to it. So I had to write from scratch on pen and pad, write out everything. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't too attached to it, but I was just thinking like, man, I can't believe that happened. But I was like, I got to move on to the next thing, because I'm like, can't keep having you waiting. I got to keep moving forward instead of dwelling on that. I'd be like, damn, why did it crash? I'm like, I'll figure it out in the meantime, but I got to do this.
Yeah. And then it's very fitting that today Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp have crashed, and you can't even get on it today. So, it makes you think, like, what, it's a nice welcome break for a day, I guess. But yeah, it makes you think, like, what if this all went away? What would you be doing? What's more important to you? Is Instagram really that important?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think relying on things that you can't live without, I mean, maybe people should shape their thinking a little differently, or what the fuck, just throw it all out. Think about the 5 most important things in life and just throw them out. So I don't know.
Yeah, I understand, because I'm trying to think myself, if there's 5 things I can't live without. And I'm like, honestly, like, I think the first thing that always comes to everybody's mind is their phone. It's like, if we're so attached to our phones, it's like the phone is always gonna be number one. It's like, without the phone, you're like, feel like you're not connected to the world or connected to the outside if you don't have your phone being connected to the internet and Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Yeah, and you're right. I mean, I guess if I'm going to choose something, then yeah, the phone is what I can't live without, because that's how I make my living. So
That's true. So the last four questions.
yeah,
Number one, how can I help you?
how can you help me? I don't know, man. That's a heavy question. I think this has helped me, just having this conversation. It's pretty rare that I have this. This has been a very interesting interview, and it's made me look introspectively into myself. So thank you for doing this. To me, I think you've already helped me. These are things that I don't really express in the words very often like this. And I think how you do your podcasts, to kind of tap into some more subconscious level stuff is really cool.
Oh,
So
thank you.
you've already helped me.
I'm glad I was able to help. I'm trying to contribute more as well. Where can my audience find you?
They can find me on Instagram and TikTok at LasVegasFill, LasVegasFill. And yeah, I mean, people would say they recommend not looking at my stuff at midnight. You might get hungry. You might get hungry after, but that's where they can find me doing most of my work these days.
Got you. He left a small disclaimer for y'all.
Right.
Don't look after midnight.
Right. There'll be a DM like, I love your account, but go fuck yourself. So yeah.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Ooh, how much younger? What age am I talking to here?
Let's say high school. So I think that's one more impression.
Okay. So I would have quit guitar and started DJing then, for sure. And then I would probably, what other advice would I give? I know that's the only thing that comes off the bat. So I played guitar for years. I was actually a music major in school. But I think looking back, what I would have done was I would have started DJing and actually programming,
Okay.
doing more music tech stuff than performance type stuff. That way I wouldn't have to have relied on band members and other people in my life to get where I wanted to go or do what I wanted to do creatively and musically. I think I did that too late when I started doing the studio stuff. The rest of my life, when I started doing recording stuff, started snowballing, and with work and business and relationships. And so I think I would have started that in high school.
Started DJing and producing and everything earlier.
Yeah. I mean, my life
you.
would be probably drastically different. I don't, I'm not saying I dislike my life, but yeah, that might have been one of the things I would have advised. Maybe get a better haircut. That would be about it. Yeah.
Got you. And my last and final question, what kind of impact do you want to make on the world?
That's for the world to decide. I'm just going to do what I want to do. I've never thought about, I've never thought about it in that way. I just, I just want to live life and just be a good person. Help people. And all of the social media stuff is just a byproduct of, everything. Yeah. Money is a byproduct of hard work. Doing more doing more philanthropy, charity stuff. That's kind of what I want to do in the future. That's and hopefully that will make a better impact on just recommending a sandwich or something like that.
I get you.
So, but I don't know. I don't. Like I said before, I live in a bubble, and it's kind of hard to think about impact. That's for everyone else to decide, not me. I got you.
Yeah,
if people take it a certain way, then amazing. If not, then that's fine too. This is just what I do, and that's it.
I got you, man. I want to thank you though for like coming on the show as well as educating us and letting us know about your journey and letting us know about everything that you've been through from the start of LasVegasFill up to now, and then how you really blossomed over the years with the social media, especially when it comes to TikTok and Instagram, and really editing your videos with Splice and learning that content. How last year put you back, not necessarily put you back, but it really accelerated your growth to where you took some time away from your the foodie industry and really figured out how can I work for me instead of me going back and really getting another shitty job or something like that. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
No, I
Everything.
appreciate you, man. This was awesome. This is really fun to do. So thank you.
Well, we'll be in touch. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a part 2 going, discussing your music side of the everything. I know you went to NYU and got a bachelor's in music, so I want to talk about that as well.
Oh yeah, those are wild times. I feel like I've had 3 different lifetimes of experiences, and people have known me longest are like, God, like you constantly drastically change your life. Like, who the fuck thought I'd be food blogging 10 years ago, making a living doing this? This is crazy. So yeah, I mean, that was a wild time and one of the best times of my life. And yeah, perhaps, yeah, we can talk about that when MTV still played videos and all that kind of stuff. It was crazy.
The good old days.
Yeah. Yeah. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 29.
Oh God. Okay. So yeah, you were what, born in 91? Oh no.
92.
92. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine what you think of 90s music then.
Oh, no, I love 90s music. All 90s music.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think when the 2000 wave hit, it was like started to change it up, and I was like, from the 90s to 99, we good.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I love hearing younger people's perspective on music, because there's so many ways to discover new songs now, new music, and where before I would have to go to the CD store and listen on the CD playing on the wall. Hopefully they had a sample I could listen to, or depend on the radio to record something. So that was I mean, your taste in music, what you listen to, I mean, it's got to be way more diverse than when I was 20.
Yeah, because I'm thinking back now, because when you said you have to go to the CD store, I just instantly thought of Virgin Records, where they had the CDs lined up, you could listen to them, put the headphones on. I used to be there every week.
Totally. So yeah, I mean, what a trip. But yeah, I mean, that would be really cool. That's stuff I've never talked about with anybody really in the last decade or so.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into the music side next. But I appreciate you for coming on, man. Enjoy your day. We'll stay in touch.